Rejoice, rejoice! I have discovered something. While taking a shower, I remembered something that I saw in another video. As it turns out, there are, and now I don't know if you would say gimbals or gyros, but this game has them. I think it refers to it as a gyro. So what we're going to do is turn on our flying machine and take off. Woo! Look at that. Stability. Stability. And what happened was, I remember watching a video, and I believe it was Dragon Nation, and he had just made the offhand comment. He was like, "Oh, better put a gyroscope on this thing so it'll behave." And I didn't remember that. I did not remember that when I built and added the thrusters. So I went back and I added the gyro like he did. I just put one on here. I didn't put many, but we have a little bit of control, enough to actually fly the machine, right? So, um, oop, I also figured out how to, also figured out how to, oh, I lost it. Oh, you remember when we grouped all the thrusters together and I couldn't figure out a way to, turn the thrusters on and off as a group? Well, it turns out the game tries to tell you down here at the bottom where you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, off to the left, you see the letter G. And for whatever reason, I just didn't remember that if you hit G, it brings up what you're connected to, right? So if you're doing this inside of a base, it's going to bring up all the blocks, all the groups you've made for that base. If you're in a vehicle, it does it for the groups in the vehicle of all the blocks you've made, right? Now you have to go to K first. You have to go to K first and make it here, then go to G and go to groups, right? But there it is, brought it down here to 5, told it on and off. So now I can just, on and off whenever I want. So let's look to the right. Our battery says we have 18 minutes of flight for the for this particular vehicle, which that's not bad for our first little test flight. If we're driving, we have hours and hours worth of giddy up and go. So I'm gonna go over here, pick up some iron, uh, turn on the thrusters, and see if that 30 minutes goes down to like 6 minutes because we have so much more mass. So I'm going to try that right quick and then see what happens. I also have another surprise for you. As it turns out, I got pretty carried away and built up the bunker. And my idea was that the video would open with me looking through all the cameras and then having some sort of Gatling turret set up. So the video would open and I'd be like, we have an intruder alert. And I would be flipping through the cameras and then I would just make believe. I'd be like, oh, there's a Gribbly over there. He's no good. He's gotta go. And then I would push a couple of buttons and beep, boop, beep. Everything would open up and retract and all that jazz. Didn't do that. Got the cameras up and was heartbroken when I found out that the LCD screens, you can't put them on a wall and then have a camera feed to that LCD screen. Apparently that was a thing back in the day. There was a developer who did it. I don't know. I think it's Trish maybe, or Tish. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I was heartbroken. I was like, man, how easy is that? How easy would that be to have these security cameras and have a security room where you can see all this? you know, or if you're just like backing up where you have a vehicle with a camera on the back and you switch to this view and just have like a little LCD screen on. Oh, because we're closer to it. I see. Okay. Um, and you go to this view and you're like, oh, I can see the backup camera LCD because I put it right here next to the um, drill, and now I don't have to worry about backing up incorrectly. I can just do it. Like, I thought that would be so cool, but alas, not quite how things go. I'm gonna actually bypass the iron for just a second because I really want to go over here to this rock outcropping. A couple of videos ago, perhaps even the last video, I said that this was something that I was interested in because I wanted to build like a medieval fortress on top of it and then have our space program rockets and vehicles come out from secret subterranean tunnels that all connected to said medieval looking building, much like the Voltron series did with the lions. And I'm just gonna go over here right quick and just have a look see. And if I need to, I'll turn on the thrusters and I'll jump with the thrusters up to, you know, the level I want. I'm also on the lookout for nickel. Of everything, of I suppose, quote quote, the starting elements or the basic elements, nickel is one that I've not run across. Iron, check. Silicon, check. Nickel, not check. Cobalt, magnesium, yes. A little bit of silver. I know the direction to look for the silver in, but I don't have it mapped again yet, and I will. And then gold. I also know that the gold and silver are in the same direction. So I'm just gonna toot over here right quick and see if I can't luck out with some nickel. Now I've heard that the different color ground is supposed to help key you in on if there's anything there of value, so that you like can narrow your search down to like the different colored patches. And I'm not saying that this patch off to the right is one of them. I'm just saying that it looks odd. So we might drive over it just for giggles. All right, show me the nickel. Ah, silver. Silver is fine. I don't think we like need silver, but I'm going to go ahead and just mark it on the GPS anyway. New current position. I think we even have one silver already. Cobalt, ice, iron, silicon. We don't. A G for silver. Good for me. Let's go here. Turn that. The medical bay. I don't have the medical bay built. So turn that on, turn that on. And let's see if we have the bug. Yep, we have the bug. Ah, what a piece of trash. Well, we have the bug where we can't mine. I I can't explain how I can't explain how disappointed I am in a developer that now I've Googled it, and apparently people just reload their games. That's all they do. They just reload their games. But it takes me like 7 times, and I back out, reload, back out, reload, back out, reload, and finally it fixes it. But I know the developers are aware of this problem. I've been online. I've seen forums on what I would consider um, popular areas where developers ought to be, and I can't believe that this hasn't been hot fixed. It's so weird. Like when I was growing up, when you got a game, there were no such thing as patches. Like it was done. You bought the game, you had it. That's it. Um, I distinctly remember the first time I patched a game. I believe it was like Ultima Online, and I was downloading like the new client or something, and I was talking to my friend Tim, and he was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, like people found out how to do something they weren't supposed to do. They could stack like 9 hammers on top of each other, and they could double click that hammer and repair something, and they would get 9 times the skill because the client interpreted the the stack of 9 hammers as, of course it recognized them as 9 individual hammers, but when you double clicked it and you repaired something, it understood you to have done that repair quote quote 9 times. And if the I see it up here to the right, I see a different colored swath of land, so I'm gonna go up there and just investigate. I have the power. um Excuse me, I know you probably don't appreciate me coughing in your ear. I apologize. So, uh, oh, and the reason that was so groundbreaking, number one, is that you were much more efficient with your time, and number two, broken armor wasn't like super rare. It wasn't something that you found a lot or was always around. So, not only were you getting more experience than you should per tick, or not really more than you should per tick, you were being much more efficient. Um, once you, I'm going to turn on the thrusters here because this is like a great situation where we just kind of want to hover over, and if we see something, great, and if not, great. Okay, I'm gonna turn my, there we go. So I'm gonna have to treat this thing a little kooky dukes. We were moving off to the right, so I moved where my thrusters were pointing to help cancel out that buildup of speed, right? So I was using my quote quote thrusters to stop our forward progress, like retrograde firing, kind of. Here's another discoloration. I'm going to go up here and just investigate that right quick. I don't quite know if the discoloration thing is true. I've heard it. I'm just trying it out because I have the battery power, and I'm more interested to see the surroundings that we have going on here. I kind of want to see what I can see, right? And unfortunately, it looks like it's more the same. It looks like it's just going to be plains and plains and plains with scattered rocks here or there, which I suppose is okay. But this is going to push us to move into the mountains so that we can just mine an unimaginable amount of rock, just so I don't have to keep going out. But who knows? Maybe the atmospheric speeder I'm working on, maybe that'll open new possibilities. Okay, so back to Ultima Online. So not only were you being more efficient with your time, whoops, but you were also like the armor wasn't readily available, right? So you were, and when you repaired it the 9 times, you would get the 9 experience. The armor would become repaired, and that would be it. So people were doing it with stacks of like 9 hammers, and then other people were doing it with stacks of like 700 hammers, and we're just getting an insane amount of experience. So they had to patch it, and that was like one of the first times I remember a game having to uh, patch itself. So, like I said, when I was a kid, I kind of grew up with games that didn't quote quote patch themselves. Whatever you got was what you got on release day. So now with developers coming out with, early access and beta games, when I'm playing them, there's a part of me that empathizes with the complexity of this code versus older games, but there's also a part of me that you really need to address bugs that fundamentally upheaval your game. And in a game where mining and building are your primary focus, not being able to mine, that's a big deal. And telling people, you know what, let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and park. I'm going to exit save. I'm going to come back. This is the first time reloading. Your jetpack can match the velocity of nearby grids using relative dampeners. Oh, okay, right. So they're just trying to look how little that guy up there is. If you if you can go back right quick, look how little the other guy was on that ship. The guy in the foreground was massive, and he's just like Ant-Man up there. All right, let's go over here and let's see if that. Oh, magnesium and ice in the ground right here. How cool! How great is that? I love that. Magnesium and ice. Another magnesium and ice field. Will the magnesium pop back up? Perfect. Perfect. Great. Yes. Current position. Mag and let's do it the same naming convention. That's great. Ooh. All right. Let's continue. Let's go over here and see if we can mine now. Okay, so that was our first load in. Let's see if that's fixed it. Maybe it has, and maybe I'll shut up. Um, but if it doesn't fix it, it's just kind of showing my point is that you can't just tell people like, oh, reload your game and you'll be fine. Because I've done it where it's been like 7 times and it still hasn't fixed it. Oh, look at that. Okay, yeah. All right, well, I'll shut up then. My apologies to the developers. Apparently it just is. I mean, I've had it before where it took 5 ever. But here we go. We're doing good now. And this right here is going to pop out at around 47. I think that's where I've seen it like kind of hit its maximum. Is at 47,000 kilograms. So we're going to let this eat for a second. We're getting good perch here. I think we're getting right into the silver too. So looks good to me. And I don't know why it reduces. Like sometimes it'll be like, oh, 43, then I see it tick back down to 42. So I'm not quite sure if that's there's a part of me that thinks that when it goes into the cargo containers, it becomes compressed or compact, or the weight or the mass is distributed in a certain fashion. And if it's not if it's in like the drill, then it's counted toward like, the mass period. I don't know. We have the energy and we have the beacon built, so I feel pretty confident in just driving around and seeing what we can see. We get closer to home. I'm going to try to fly one more time. Uh, well, there was silicon in the ground back there too. So if we choose that mountain to build in, we're going to have a silicon ice magnesium vein very close to the mountain. If I can just run over an iron or nickel vein in the ground, then, well, as the great man once said, Chewie, we're home. And if you thought that was corny, I hope you understand you're watching a video about space engineers. So, how much, what were you expecting? Uh, this terrain is pretty. It does have a quality about it. What is over there? That's weird. What's over there? What's 5 kilometers in that direction? I wonder. That's not home. Oh, 4.7 in that direction. I don't remember being in the grassland. Oop, here's a rock. Let's see what we got. Got a lot of silver. I think I'm going to build the medical station when we get back home. And that medical station will probably be in the bunker. I can't imagine. Gold and iron in the ground. Woo! Love that. Love it. You. Uh, let's do AU or aurorium. And then and iron in ground. So it's a vein. Love it. Love it. Boop. Moving on. How far away from, well, probably not that far. So yeah, that one place is looking more and more habitable as the day goes on. More and more habitable. The fog is rolling in. Really cool. I was trying to make a motorcycle. I was racking my head. I was like, how would you make a motorcycle? Like, what would it look like? And then I was like, oh, I'll just make tank tracks. I'll make it look like a rhino from Warhammer. But then I remember they don't have tank tracks. They just have the three different size wheels. And I was like, okay, fine. I'll make a planetary, or I'll make a drone. I'll just slap a couple of cameras on it. Uh, I'll invest the minimum amount of thrusters and all that jazz, and I'll remote control it. Um, but I really think I should just go ahead and build a uh, two own signals. Two own signals. Unknown signal. Okay, two own signals must mean two of my own. And then there's the iron that goes over the ridge. So what's the blue back there? What's the blue 3 kilometers to that direction? Huh. I gotta know. Oh, that's weird. I do know what's that back that direction. That's gonna be the iron. That's gonna be the magnesium and ice field. That's gonna be the silicon field. Over there is the cobalt and nickel. So what's this blue? Blue like looks like it's at the bottom. I don't think I've marked anything. Blue. What's the blue? What's in the box? Okay, we're gonna. Oh, there's silicon in the ground right here. Uh, just went right past it. There needs to be a little like a chime. The ore detector needs to. The ore detector needs to chime when it detects something. Yep. But the ore detector needs to chime. Like when it detects something for the first time, it needs to chime in on that. We're gonna go investigate what this blue is. I'm pretty sure it's something that I have done, something that I have marked because I just came from that direction. But when I bring this up and look at GPS, I don't see any blue over here, so I am curious about what that is. And then we'll head on back home and I'll show you what the work I did to the bunker. And then I probably going to start working on the only thing that this needs as far as thrusters go. And now I think I have enough. Well, you know what? I bet I don't even have enough nickel to build more motors. Well, I have stone on board here, and the stone can be turned into nickel. It would be nice to run across a nickel vein. That's kind of the one element, like I said earlier, that I've not seen. But I really want to do an atmospheric rover. And I also play Kerbal Space Program. Well, I did a long time ago, maybe about 5 years ago. Really enjoyed that game. Uh, I played it before the science was added to the game, and when the science was, oh, I see. If there's two or three things stacked, it'll just turn them both blue, or it'll turn them blue, and then it'll combine them. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna go back. Oh, I guess that's what the little dash marks above it. I'm gonna go back home. Home is just right there. I think I can already see it. Nope, it's 4 kilometers away. Anyway, I Oh, nickel. Yeah. Woo. Woo. And cobalt. What a great day. What a great day. All right. Ni and cobalt. Boop, boop. Now, let's take an inventory here and see if I have any room. Full, full, full room in drill 2. And in drill... What the crap? Drill 2, drill 2. Why is there 2 drill 2s? Is there a drill 1? And why are they orange? Are they broken? They are broken. Ooh, that breaks my heart. I hate they were broken. I wonder if that was causing the problem earlier where I wouldn't see some interior plates. Heated display and interior plates. I need to, well, I don't think I can fit an assembler on here. The nickel though, where's the nickel? Do I have to have this thing out to see the nickel? I bet I do. Yep. Okay, right underneath. Oh, lost my train of thought. Playing Kerbal Space Program before the science was added, and then when they added the science, it got... I was unhappy with how the direction they went with the science. I thought it was a little it was odd. Like, if you went there and you took the reading for temperature, you would get like 100% for the science. But if you sent a probe and the probe took the reading for temperature, for some reason they were like, oh, you get 75%. You don't get 100%. And it's like, why? Why am I not getting 100%? Because I wasn't physically there to take the reading. Like, you should be able to trust your instruments. You know, it's like, oh, it was this many degrees. Like, oh, that's really hot. It was this many degrees. Oh, that was really cold. And then someone's like, no, not really. You can't say that. You weren't there. And it's like, well, I mean, I get what they're saying. Like, manned space flight has yielded more, and it's yielded more science more efficiently than probes. Like, I'm not arguing that point, but something as straightforward as temperature, that shouldn't be a problem. And then, like, you would get diminishing returns. You would get like, oh, you took the temperature here, you get 75, and then you took it again on your next mission and you only get 30. And it's like, well, don't you think the temperature would change? Like, I think the temperature will change. There are places on the earth where the temperature doesn't stay the same, and we're explorers, we're investigating. Like, why are you... It, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it was weird, and it really left a bad taste in my mouth. And I was like, well, so long, Kerbal Space Program. Like, you were very fun, and I enjoyed you an awful lot. That's more nickel, it looks like. Maybe it's the same nickel patch, but it just goes on forever. Anyway, I stopped playing it. It was heartbreaking, because I really wanted to play by the rules, and I wanted to do the science tree, but at the same time, that's not how science works. If you have a probe on the surface of the moon and it's sending back the temperature, that would be very important year round, month round. Like, it would be important hourly, it would be important weekly, monthly, yearly. It would be very important. And the temperature not being taken by a person doesn't in any way diminish the science you're getting out of that. If they were trying to make some type of argument where, oh, well, an astronaut would have noticed that the temperature change, outside the visible spectrum of the thermometer would indicate that on the moon there is a prism effect where the visible light is broken up into the infrared, and that is something that a unmanned spacecraft just couldn't piece out, but a person can. Fine, fine. I concede that point. However, I still think that in the context of, and I guess if you made that argument, then you would have to say that the 100 science, if you went there with a probe and only got 75, what you're trying to say is that there's more to discover, so that you shouldn't not revisit that area with a Kerbal. But I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. At the beginning, you don't have a lot of parts, um, and I I kind of feel like at the beginning there's this spirit where you want to go, but you just don't know how, and you don't want to send people because you're scared. You don't know what to expect, so you send a rover, and you work hard. The rover gets there. You take the science. You send it back home, and it's not quite good enough. And now you're like, well, poop. I really should not have sent the rover. I should have sent a person. You're not giving the rovers their moment in the spotlight. You're not giving them that moment of, this was important. This was a good step. We got good science out of this. There's a reason to send people, um, because the rovers can't do some experiments, right? Like seismology or rock samples. You could have a station you deploy from a spacecraft where if a Kerbal interacted with it, you would get more, like vastly more science. Or you just have to have a astronaut there to do it. You can't you can't send a rover. It's just not allowed. Like that would be fine. I don't know. It Like I said, I didn't agree with it, so I moved on. But you might think that's a good idea, and I would welcome the debate. I want to get back to it. I think it would be fun to revisit it after all these years. But well, once bitten, twice shy, or something like that. All right, woo, nickel boys, nickel and lady. Beep. Oop, I don't think that's gonna line up. Nope, I think I'm a little off. I think I'm a lot off. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, look how bad that is. Are you going to allow me to fix that? Cool. All right. Great, 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 great. Then this thing's already kicked on. I love hearing it run. Love hearing that. Let's go over here. The refinery. It's processing the silver right now, so we're getting the silver done. Um, I usually like seeing the stone processed out first, just because I just like seeing it done that way. I'm gonna move the nickel up to the front of the line though, because I finally want to have uh, tons of processed nickel for motors so that I can play with these more. Okay, well, let's take a look here. We need displays and interior plates. Obviously, we've taken some damage somewhere, so I'm going to put all that up. I'm going to take the displays, and I don't see any interior plates, so I'm going to order 100, and we should have the iron for that. Yeah, looks like we do. Also going to switch out my bottle here. Bring the interior plates over. Bring that up to speed. That looks good. That looks good. All that looks fine. There's the ore detector. I just kind of put it back here. I don't know if you guys were around to see that. The battery is not almost depleted, but it definitely is. It's lost some charge. Here's our gyroscope, and this right here is what really saved our bacon. We need some steel plates to bring that completely online. I think I can actually look right here and grab some stuff out. Again, I just order 100 steel plates because we, we never have enough steel plates. Never, ever. I think I said it in one of the videos. I said if you're ever transported to this universe, go ahead and just open up a steel plate shop. You'll be fine. It's like the one thing that is constantly needed is steel plates. All right. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. I would like to add, I guess I'm going to rip that up and I'm going to push this forward to like right here. And I'm going to try to keep that and that and that. I can't, maybe move that back. No, not a good idea. I'm going to just move some stuff around on this so that the thrusters are a little bit more efficient. I don't think I'm going to do that right now on camera. Um, Apologies if you're really wanting to see more of this. You know what's funny? Uh, Doing this, I understand where a lot of YouTubers now come from when they say things like, "Oh, leave a comment, and let me yada yada or yada yada." Like I get it now. Like it's difficult figuring out like what it is people want to see, and I empathize now with them trying to balance like what it is people wanted to see versus what they think people want to see. So if you learn nothing else from this channel, please take away that uh, the YouTubers, when they say things like, "Oh, leave a comment," like I really want to know what you think about this. They're not lying. Like they're just as in the dark as you are, perhaps, about what it is, or not just as much as you are. That's dumb. You're the one specifically that knows what you like, but they might be in the dark about what it is you find interesting. Okay, so let's go over here and I reinforced this catwalk all the way out here because I didn't want it to be cut, and then this whole area to lose power. So I just kind of reinforced that, and I ran two more, or not two, yeah, two more, one and two more causeways just to help keep power moving. I've not yet got out there and upped our power output. We really don't need it. We're doing just fine. If we keep doing thrusters, then probably going to need to get that done because we're going to keep siphoning so much power off to get the thrusters working. I need to build another battery in the bunker just so if someone comes by and blows that one up, we still have defenses. But I'll go ahead, and I probably need to move that over. But I'll go ahead and show you the bunker and show you how it's coming along. I'm pretty proud of it. I think I did a decent job. First thing you'll notice is I put some lights in. Woo! I also have this really cool button on the ceiling because when this thing is here, I can walk up and push that button and it'll take me up. I have a little ramp that comes down here. It ramps around. I built these just so I would open up, just for progression. I would open up that line. I don't know what you would call it. And then I built this just so I could man this area. And I was really hoping to have 4 LCD screens in front of me that I could chime into the cameras so that if I were sitting here, let me see if I can look at a cam. There we go. I could have this view, which is right outside the bunker. I could have it and be like, "Oh, I can see if someone's trying to get into the bunker." Ha ha ha. You know, but unfortunately, you can't type them in just yet. So, now that I realize, oh, I need to have a button down there so I can close it. Yes. I didn't think of that. I need to have a button down there so I can close it. I also installed a interior sentry gun upside down so that if you were writing this down, like if you push the button and we're writing it down, this thing would start shooting your knees and hopefully kill you. before you even see it. And if you blow this up, I have it tucked away where you can't see it most of the time. If it's pointing down like it just was, you'll be able to. But I have it where if you blow this up and jump down, like I hope you jump down here, and then that thing starts just wailing away on the top of your head, right? And then headshots, I assume, do more damage. By the way, there's a mechanism, there's a button rather, that you can push that says fire on off. And if you click on, this thing starts randomly shooting the room it's in. I don't know why, but it does. So when I saw fire, I was like, oh, yeah, you are weapons free, my friend. Please protect the home. It started just randomly shooting. And I was like, no, do not randomly shoot in this room. So I had to turn that off. I assume it's going to shoot people when it comes in. I don't know what it was aiming at or targeting. I spent about 5 minutes walking around going, well, is there an enemy ship? Is there an enemy station? Like, what is it? But anywho, um, yeah, I was really hoping to have that tied in to the cameras, but unfortunately, just can't. Here's another view. This is on the beacon tower. So I wanted to have it too where I could cycle through these, where I could say, and I guess I could do that now. If I go to G, I can have the cameras. So camera 2, just yeah, view, great. And then here, view, camera 4, view, camera 5, view, camera 6, view. Cool. All right, let's back out of that. And as we're sitting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. All right, so that's pointing out toward that. That's the back where the heel is. And that's actually pretty good too. The only one that's out of order is 1, and it goes from 1 to 3. Number 2 is that one on the ground, and I guess I need to move that. I want to switch. Can I switch 2 and 3? So there's 2. 2 is here. I want to put 2 right there, view, and I want to put 3 right there, view. Okay, now let's have a look. So 1 goes right out front of the door. 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all on that pylon where the beacon is, right? So good, 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 good. And that's how I wanted to open. I wanted it to open with, ladies and gentlemen, there appears to be an intruder among us. And then like beep boop beep, push a couple of buttons and panels open up and Gatling turrets come out, and I'd be like, nah, psych, just kidding, just kidding. No Griblies, just me showing off the new toys. But I didn't get a chance to do that because I was so happy that I figured out gimbals and gyroscopes. So there's that. All right, well, I think I've rambled on enough, and I think you got an idea about the direction the base is heading. There's a part of me that really wants to, oh, excuse me. There's a part of me that really wants to just dip out and bring you guys back when I have a lot more done and everything looks a lot better. But there's another part of me that wants to keep you around for every step of the way. And then perhaps much, much, much later in the future, I'll take all this footage and I will, oh, you can actually see the outside world right there. Oh, we're actually getting crushed too. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know which way is up. Ah, help me, Lord. Okay, good. Yep. But I was kind of thinking that I would splice all that together so that it would just be like 1 hour long video, and you could see like all the trials, tribulations, our moments of heartache and celebration. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll do that. So I'll keep you guys around, and we'll just go through painstakingly every part of this. I'm gonna go ahead and close that up, because a super secret bunker is not good if it's not super secret nor secure. So give me 100 more. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm going to need probably 300. Give me 300 of those, and I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you, folks, for joining me for yet another game. I appreciate it. I really do. And as I was saying earlier, like now it makes sense to me why so many content creators will say things like, "Please leave a comment below and let me know what you like." And there's a part of me that thinks I should know, but um, I don't think this format lends itself to that all the time. I think you I think it's okay for you to say, "You know what? Build more stuff or explore more or stop playing this game and go play Empyrean Galactic Survival or play Kerbal." So just leave some feedback. That would be wonderful. Um, anyway, yeah. Have a great day, folks. Bye-bye.